Pajama Quilter, Kimberly Crenshaw, and welcome to today's tutorial. We're going to be making the Churn Dash block. It's from the early 1800s. It's very simple and it only requires two fabric choices, a light and a dark. This is what you're going to need. A piece 2.5 inches by 18.5 inches of both your light and dark, a 4.5 inch square of your light, and two 5-inch squares of your light and your dark. That's it. That's all you need. And for the light, and well, for these squares, I want you to starch these really, really well. You'll thank me for it later. Then turn over the lights and use your ruler and line it up from point to point, and take a pencil and draw right down the middle. And we've already done this one. Now we're going to get ready to sew. You're going to match these up right sides together and make sure you pin these so that they don't shift. We don't want them to shift. Okay. Now let me show you what I want you to sew, and then I'll be right back after I sew them. First, I want you to sew this long seam together, press to the dark, and on these, you're going to sew two lines, one scant 1/4 inch on either side of the mark that you just drew. And what you can do is you can feed it in your machine, both of them, turn them around and go right back through. I will be back in just a second after these are sewn. And we're back. I hope you had a fun time piecing. You know, a lot of quilters do use that term interchangeably. I am one of them. But let's hope that you didn't have any problems stitching stuff together. Right now, we're going to be cross-cutting this long strip at 4.5 inch segments, which is actually going to make squares. And let's hope I don't mess up, because I didn't bother to make any extra pieces. Let's see. And just two more. You know, they actually, when you look at this quilt block when it's done, it's supposed to resemble the dash and the churn of a butter churn. Now, if you're not sure what the dash part is, it's the stick that you move up and down and around to churn the butter. I have to confess, it doesn't really look like that to me. It really doesn't. I think I'm going to trim this one off just a little bit more. It just looks like a big square hole, which to me does not represent the dash. But you know what? God love them. They created the block. It's a great block. It does go by other names, but usually when it goes by other names, they've incorporated more than just two fabric choices. Okay, we've got those done. Now, the first thing I want you to do for this is to cut right on that line that you drew. Oh, and just so you know, your stitches should look like that. I'm showing you on this side because it's easier to see. So this is what you should have. Okay. Just in case I wasn't very clear initially explaining it. And one more. Now we have two options here of how to square up these half square triangles, and that's what they are now. So you've made these beautiful half square triangles. One option is to go ahead and press it open. You can put it to the dark, That's fine. And then you can use your ruler and try to cut it to 4.5 inches square. Now, it can take a little bit of practice to make sure you kind of like want to make sure that the points are lined up just so. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of one color and not enough of the other. It can be a little tricky. My recommendation is Eleanor Burns' Quilt in a Day ruler. Lifesaver. Makes things so much easier. And you can use it for all sorts of different sizes. So for this one, we are going to line it up right there. It says 4.5. And you line up the red stitching line on the red stitching line. And you line up this part right here with the point. It's that simple. And you just trim those two sides. Just like that. So super easy. And you can even, to avoid having the little dog ears when you open it, you can even turn it around, line it up again, and you can go ahead and cut off those little points right there. Now, when you go to press it open, it'll be the perfect size, just like that. Okay, I will be right back after I finish cutting these. So, how did your trimming turn out? Hopefully it turned out really, really well. I know it definitely helps to have that tool. And now we're gonna arrange the pieces to make the Churn Dash block. And there's only 9 pieces that we have to piece together. And here you go. This part is supposed to represent the churn, and again, this part is supposed to represent the dash, but it really doesn't look like that rod stick dash thing to me. But it's still a beautiful block, and if at some point you want to put something that you fussy cut or print off a picture of a family member, anything at all would look beautiful here in the center. You could definitely fancy this block up any way you want to. Okay, so let's start by piecing these rows together. And we're going to want to iron the seams to these parts right here, our 2-piece parts. And I will be right back when that's done. Hi, how did your rows turn out? Mine turned out really well. Praise God, I didn't have any mistakes. I didn't have to take out any seams. Now, to finish the block, we just have to do 1 long seam here and 1 long seam there, and then it is complete. And you don't need to see me do those 2 long seams. You know how to do it. You're brilliant. You've got this. And I really hope that you will share your Churn Dash blocks that you make with me. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon.